You've probably eaten them your whole life. They're on grocery store shelves in fast food restaurants in your pantry right now. But here's the thing, some of the most common foods in America, they're completely banned in other countries. Not regulated, not restricted, banned. And when you find out why, you might never look at your breakfast the same way again. Hey, welcome back, or if you're new here, welcome. Today we're diving deep into the American food supply, and trust me, what we found is going to blow your mind. Don't forget to like and subscribe. The United States has some of the most permissive food regulations in the world. The FDA allows hundreds of additives, dyes, preservatives, and chemicals that other countries, especially in Europe, have outright banned. So today, we're counting down 10 everyday US foods and ingredients that other countries decided were just too dangerous, too controversial, or too questionable to allow on their shelves. We're talking about stuff in your kids' cereal, in your bread, in your sodas, even in your chicken. And stick around because number 3 involves something so common, so everyday American, it's almost unbelievable that 27 countries have banned it entirely. Let's get into it. Number 10, Mountain Dew and Brominated vegetable oil. Mountain Dew, the king of gamer fuel, the soda that turns your tongue green. For decades, what gave certain citrus sodas their cloudy, vibrant look was something called brominated vegetable oil, or BVO. BVO is literally a flame retardant. Yes, you read that right. The same chemical family used to keep furniture from catching fire was used to keep the citrus flavoring from separating in your soda. The European Union, Japan, and India banned it years ago, and it's been linked in case studies to memory loss, nerve disorders, and skin lesions when consumed in large amounts. Here's the kicker: when Mountain Dew reformulated for export to Europe, they replaced BVO with a different ingredient entirely. So the European version of Mountain Dew is literally a different drink. Americans were getting the flame retardant edition. The FDA officially revoked BVO's generally recognized as safe status in 2024, but for decades, it was in your soda. Alright, that was a warm-up, because up next, something you probably eat for breakfast. Number 9, artificially colored cereals. Walk down the cereal aisle and it looks like a paint factory exploded. Those brilliant reds, yellows, and blues that make cereals look fun and exciting, they come from petroleum-derived artificial dyes. Red 40, Yellow 5, and Yellow 6 are among the most commonly used food dyes in American cereals and snacks. The European Union doesn't ban them outright, but they require a very specific warning label on any product containing them. May have an adverse effect on activity and attention in children. That warning is so damaging to sales that most companies reformulated their European products to use natural colorings instead, things like beet juice, turmeric, and paprika extract. Here's the wild part: the exact same cereal, same brand, same name is sold in two different formulas. The US version uses synthetic dyes, the UK version uses natural colorings, same product, different ingredients. Because the companies can make the natural version, they just don't bother for the American market. But if you think dyes in your cereal are bad, wait until you hear what's in your bread. Number 8, potassium bromate in bread. Bread, the staff of life, something humans have been eating for thousands of years. So why, in the modern era, did American bakers start adding a bleaching and strengthening agent that's been classified as a possible human carcinogen? Potassium bromate is added to flour to make bread rise higher, create a better texture, and give it that gorgeous, fluffy look. It's been banned in the European Union, Canada, Brazil, China, and many other countries because it has been shown to cause kidney tumors and thyroid tumors in animal studies. The FDA has encouraged, not required, bakers to stop using it since 1991. But because it's not outright banned in the US, plenty of commercial breads still contain it today. California actually requires a cancer warning label on bread products containing potassium bromate, so companies reformulated their California products. If you're in California, your bread is safer. The rest of America might still be getting the bromated version without knowing it. Okay, we're at number 8 and things are already getting uncomfortable, but we're just getting started. Coming up, something that's in almost every single American processed food you can think of. Number 7. High fructose corn syrup. High fructose corn syrup is the sweetener that quietly conquered the American food supply starting in the 1970s. It's cheaper than sugar, shelf-stable, and dissolves easily, making it a manufacturer's dream, and it ended up in everything. HFCS isn't banned outright in most countries, but in countries like France, Austria, and Hungary, heavy taxes and strict sugar regulations have made it practically non-existent in their food supplies. In the European Union, corn production quotas made HFCS economically unviable for decades, so European companies simply never adopted it the way Americans did. Researchers have linked excessive HFCS consumption to obesity, type 2 diabetes, fatty liver disease, and metabolic syndrome. The American Heart Association has raised significant concerns about it. If you pick up a bottle of Heinz ketchup in America, it lists HFCS as an ingredient. The same bottle in the UK, it uses sugar, same brand, different formula. Because when they sell to countries with stricter standards, they make a cleaner product, but for America, why bother? We're halfway through, and here comes the one that genuinely shocked our research team. Stick with me. Number 6 involves something that millions of Americans eat every single morning. Before we get to number 6, I want to tease something. Number 3 on our list is something so deeply embedded in American culture, sold in virtually every grocery store, consumed by tens of millions of people, and it's been completely banned in 27 countries. We'll get there soon, but first, eggs. Number 6. Chlorine-washed eggs. Here's one that'll mess with your head not because of an additive but because of how the food is processed. American eggs are washed. Sounds hygienic, right? Clean eggs, good thing, except the EU has banned the sale of washed eggs entirely. In the US, eggs are commercially washed with a chemical sanitizer, often a chlorine solution, to remove bacteria like salmonella from the shell. This process strips away a natural protective coating on the egg called the bloom or cuticle. Without it, the shell becomes more porous, which is why American eggs must be refrigerated. European countries never wash their eggs, they maintain the bloom. Their eggs can sit out on a kitchen counter for weeks without refrigerating. American eggs left out for more than 2 hours are considered unsafe. The European Union has banned the import of American washed eggs, not because of the washing itself, but because their entire food safety model is built around protecting the bloom in the first place. Two completely opposite approaches to the same food safety problem, and neither side can sell eggs in the other's country because of it. That one surprises people every single time, but we've still got 5 more to go and they get wilder. Let's talk about something America puts in its meat. Number 5. Ractopamine in pork and beef. Ractopamine is a drug, a pharmaceutical, and in America it's fed to pigs, cattle, and turkeys to make them bulk up faster, produce leaner meat, and reach market weight more efficiently. It's in an estimated 20 to 30% of American pork products. Over 160 countries, including the entire European Union, China, and Russia, have banned meat from animals raised with ractopamine. The concerns center on cardiovascular effects, behavioral changes in animals, and potential human health risks from residues in the meat. When China banned ractopamine-treated pork, it caused a massive disruption to U.S. pork exports worth billions of dollars. American pork producers actually had to create separate supply chains, ractopamine-free lines for export, and treated lines for domestic sale. American consumers can walk into any grocery store and buy pork that the majority of the world has decided is not safe enough for their populations. And most of us have no idea because it doesn't appear on the label. We're in the top 5 now. Coming up next, something that sounds so technical, so obscure, you'd never guess it was in something you eat almost every day. Number 4, this one is in your milk. Number 4, recombinant bovine growth hormone in dairy. To make cows produce more milk, significantly more milk, American dairy farmers have been injecting cows with a genetically engineered growth hormone called rBGH or rBSD since the FDA approved it in 1993. More milk, lower cost, bigger profit. The European Union, Canada, Australia, Japan, and many other countries have banned the use of rBGH in dairy production. Concerns include increased levels of a hormone called IGF-1 in the milk, a growth factor that has been associated in some studies with increased risk of certain cancers, including breast, prostate, and colon cancer. The cows themselves also suffer. rBGH use is strongly associated with increased rates of udder infections, reproductive disorders, and lameness in cattle, leading to significantly higher antibiotic use. Because of consumer pressure, many major U.S. dairy brands have gone rBGH-free, but conventional milk at most American grocery stores, it may still be coming from hormone-treated cows, and unlike Canada, the U.S. does not require it to be labeled. We are in the top 3 now, and I told you at the start, number 3 is the one that gets people. Banned in 27 countries, something millions of Americans eat every single day. Here it is. Number 3, Azodicarbonamide, the yoga mat chemical in bread. Azodicarbonamide, let's just call it ADA, is a chemical used as a bleaching agent and dough conditioner. It makes bread fluffier, gives it better texture, and extends shelf life. It's found in a staggering number of American bread products, burger buns, and sandwich rolls, including, famously, the bread at major fast food chains. ADA is also used in the manufacturing of yoga mats and shoe soles. It's a plastics and rubber industry chemical. When a food blogger pointed this out about a major sandwich chain's bread in 2014, it went massively viral, and the chain quietly removed it from their recipe. ADA is banned as a food additive in Australia, the UK, and across the entire European Union. In Singapore, using it in food can get you a fine of nearly $500,000 and 15 years in prison. Not a typo, 15 years. Despite the public uproar, ADA is still legal in the United States and still appears in the ingredient lists of dozens of commercial bread products. The FDA classifies it as generally recognized as safe in small amounts. The World Health Organization has linked it to respiratory issues in workers exposed to it in manufacturing settings, and yet, still in your bread. Yoga mat bread, still legal. We've got 2 more, and number 2 might be the most widespread of all. It's in candy, drinks, baked goods, and it's been called a ticking time bomb by researchers in other countries. Number 2, BHA and BHT. BHA and BHT are synthetic antioxidants used as preservatives. They prevent fats and oils in food from going rancid, dramatically extending shelf life. They're in potato chips, cereal, chewing gum, butter, meat products, and cosmetics. They're everywhere in the American food supply. The National Institutes of Health has listed BHA as reasonably anticipated to be a human carcinogen. BHT has been linked to tumor development in animal studies. The European Union restricts both compounds significantly, and Japan banned BHA from most food products back in 1958, over 60 years ago. The International Agency for Research on Cancer has classified BHA as a possible human carcinogen, and yet it carries the FDA's GRAS, generally recognized as safe designation in the United States. Here's what makes this one particularly frustrating. There are natural alternatives that work just as well. Vitamin E and rosemary extract are both effective natural preservatives. Some American companies use them in their premium lines, but for the mass-market cheap products, BHA and BHT, because they cost less, the technology exists to do better, the will and the regulation does not. And now, the number 1 most shocking food ingredient banned around the world while still being common in the United States. This one affects children most directly, and when you hear what it's in, get ready. Number 1, Carrageenan in infant formula and organic foods. Carrageenan is a natural-sounding ingredient. It comes from red seaweed. It's used as a thickener and stabilizer in dairy products, infant formula, deli meats, chocolate milk, yogurt, and many products labeled as organic or natural. It sounds harmless. It sounds earthy. It is not universally considered safe. The European Union has banned Carrageenan from all infant formula and follow-on formula products. Their scientific committee concluded that there was insufficient evidence of safety, and given that infant formula is often the sole nutrition source for babies, they applied the precautionary principle and banned it outright. Peer-reviewed studies have linked degraded forms of Carrageenan to intestinal inflammation, colon ulcers, and potentially cancer in animal models. The concern is that food-grade Carrageenan may convert to the degraded form in the acidic environment of the digestive tract. Here's the part that should make every parent stop and think. In the United States, Carrageenan is allowed not just in regular food, It's permitted in USDA-certified organic products. So parents who specifically buy organic, premium, clean-label infant formula to do the best thing for their bobbies may be unknowingly feeding their infant an ingredient banned in European baby formula. The organic label in this case doesn't mean what most people think it means. And that is number 1. So let's bring it all home. 10 foods and ingredients that are everyday staples in America and are restricted or outright banned in countries across Europe, Asia, and beyond. From the flame retardant in your soda to the yoga mat chemical in your burger bun. From the bleached flour in your bread to the growth hormone in your milk. From the artificial dyes in your kids' cereal made differently for European kids to the preservatives in your chips that Japan banned before the moon landing. And sitting at number 1, Carrageenan, banned in European infant formula, allowed in American organic baby food. That one is hard to shake. The theme running through all 10 of these other countries applied the precautionary principle: when in doubt, leave it out. The United States tends to do the opposite: allow it until proven definitively harmful. 2 different philosophies, 2 very different grocery stores. Does that mean everything in American food is dangerous? Does it mean you should panic every time you eat a chip? No. But does it mean it's worth knowing what's in your food? Absolutely, 100% yes. Alright, if this video made you think, made you check an ingredient label, or honestly just made your jaw drop, drop a comment below. I want to know which one surprised you the most. Was it the yoga mat bread, the flame retardant soda, or number 1's the baby formula ingredient? And if you're thinking, I want to know more about what's really in American food and culture, subscribe and hit that notification bell because we've got a lot more of these coming. Share this with someone who thinks they eat healthy, because sometimes healthy is more complicated than the label suggests. See you in the next one.